Before this video starts, I do not condone cheating or support cheating in any way. Epic Games seems to believe that my content somehow promotes cheating in some way, but this is simply false. My content is created to get people to realize how bad the cheating problem is in Fortnite and discuss various popular players who are being accused of cheating. With that being said, today I'm talking about Avivv. Most people only know about Avivv because he's Bugha's duo partner, and he doesn't really have the largest platform online, and that has led people to be very suspicious of the authenticity of his gameplay. There are many odd things surrounding Avivv and his career as a professional gamer. The first thing I'd like to mention is something I talk about in every single video like this. Basically, when any Fortnite player comes out of nowhere and starts dominating tournaments, it's incredibly suspicious. Fortnite was released back in mid-2017, which was almost 7 years ago. There have been players like Clicks and Bugha who've been insane at the game and widely known about since Chapter 1, so seeing new players emerge after all this time is very strange. Fortnite is a game with mechanics like no other, and it takes literally years to master everything. Most other shooter games are all rather similar, and skill can transfer between them rather easily, but Fortnite has building, which is not present in any other shooter game like this. Fortnite also has editing, which is a skill that's not found in any other game. Fortnite is also a third-person game, unlike most other shooters and battle royales, which can make it very difficult to adapt to the game since most shooters are first-person. Fortnite's gunplay is also far different than other games because Fortnite's weapons have bloom, recoil, and bullet drop. My point is that Fortnite is a game which requires years of practice at the highest level to be at the top, so seeing any player appear out of nowhere like this is very suspicious, but it doesn't entirely mean that Avivv is cheating. But speaking of cheaters, only 5% of my viewers are subscribed, so if you guys don't subscribe, in the next 10 games of ranked that you play, you're gonna die to a cheater who has infinite Zeus Thunderbolts. Another thing about Avivv is that his tournament placements are incredibly suspicious. Whenever he plays with Bugha, his placements are usually in the top 10, but when he's playing a solo tournament, he commonly places only in the top couple thousand. I'm not using this point to try and prove whether or not he is cheating, but it's definitely strange to say the least, and can definitely lead to people being more suspicious of his gameplay. It also brings up a rather big question. Why is he Bugha's duo partner? Bugha is by far one of the best Fortnite players in the entire world and has been since Chapter 1. He's also the gamer with the most amount of money earned in the entire world, so why is he duoing with someone that most Fortnite players have never even heard of? Someone who struggles to get good placements while playing by himself. Is there something that Bugha knows that the rest of us don't? Maybe they just have really good team chemistry and work really well together despite Avivv not being the best solo player. That's perfectly maybe valid. Avivv also plays on high ping since he lives in Canada, which is nowhere near the NA Central server in Dallas, Texas, making him even less of the ideal duo partner. Again, it just seems rather odd that the highest earning Fortnite pro player of all time is duoing with a rather unknown player, and not just that, but a player who's constantly getting accused of cheating. Recently, I was actually talking to Bugha's dad about this in DMs on Twitter, and he said something very interesting. He watched my DMA video and responded with this. He said, "Super interesting, and I just really started digging into the DMA cheats, but I'd be cautious on naming individuals without absolute proof. Kids in a Discord claiming that Avivv cheats is very suspect. I've heard rumors of him as well and discussed this with Bugha because the implications of how it could affect his legacy and brand. I like what you're doing by exposing these cheaters because I know how hard some of these kids practice and sacrifice to get into an org, etc." This response from Bugha's dad definitely raised more questions the more I looked at it. He knows about Avivv and all the cheating allegations against him and has even discussed this with Bugha. Whether or not Bugha's dad really does think that Avivv is cheating, that is still incredibly interesting to me, that he doesn't dismiss the cheating allegations and even talks to his son about the possible issues that could arise from having Avivv as a duo partner. Again, I don't know whether or not Bugha's dad thinks Avivv is cheating or not, but it's clearly a concern for him, and he's 100% right to be concerned about this. If it's ever confirmed that Avivv is in fact cheating, Bugha's reputation online will be largely ruined. Bugha has been the face of Fortnite competitive for the last 5 years, and I even mentioned in my last video that Bugha is pretty much the #1 pro player to never cheat in Fortnite, but that doesn't mean that his teammate isn't cheating. This also brings up a very interesting hypothetical conundrum. If Avivv is cheating, does Bugha know about it? On one hand, Bugha might not know, and the situation could be very similar to the situation that happened with ItsJerrian and Taken back in the day, where Jerrian had no idea that one of his best friends and long-term duo partner at the time was in fact a cheater. The more sinister possibility is that Bugha does know that Avivv is cheating and chooses to do nothing about it. The DMA cheat is totally undetectable, meaning that Avivv would likely never be caught with it, and therefore Bugha would be safe. Personally, both of these are equally possible, but I highly doubt that Bugha would ever stoop so low to the point of playing with a cheater. But what if he is playing with a cheater, and why do people keep accusing Avivv of cheating? Do these people have any evidence aside from the very suspicious nature of his online presence? Well, his gameplay commonly shows something interesting. The way he aims looks seriously unnatural compared to all other pros who play the game. His sensitivity is incredibly average as well compared to all other tier 1 Fortnite pro players right now, as he uses 7% on 800 DPI, which is the same as 14% on 400 and 3.5% on 1600 DPI respectively. His sensitivity is very similar to many other pros and is just slightly higher than Bugha's sensitivity, while slightly lower than Clix's sensitivity, making him be right in the middle. So any excuse for his aim looking like this due to a really high or low sensitivity is not a valid argument. Obviously he is a good player, a very good player, but being good at the game does not entirely excuse the strange nature of how he aims. A lot of his clips show an incredibly smooth tracking onto players' heads, which looks virtually identical to DMA aim smoothing, but that's not 100% evidence of him cheating or not. Now, normally with videos like this, where I'm asking if a person is cheating, usually I spend a decent chunk of it just analyzing their gameplay, like watching one of their YouTube videos or something and giving my live thoughts, which I do a little bit at the very end of this video, so make sure you stick around. But this video, the entire video that you're watching right now as background gameplay, should be enough for you guys to tell that something is a little bit weird with his gameplay. I'm not 100% accusing him of cheating or not, but it just seems weird. The shots that he's hitting are so obviously unnatural. It seems very strange how he wouldn't really have a way of knowing where a lot of these players are before jumping on their head, and a lot of the times his crosshair doesn't even actually match up with where the player really is. His crosshair will miss the opponent. You can even slow it down and check for yourself. The crosshair is not on the opponent, and yet somehow he's still dealing damage. It's just very weird, and virtually all of his clips are just like this. Some of the snipes he hit, his crosshair isn't even near the opponent, and yet he still does damage somehow. In general, I really have no idea if Avivv cheats or not. There are many suspicious things about him and his gameplay, but nothing is too obvious. Like with Zemi, he might just be a really good player, but of course I'll keep following him and see if I ever spot real evidence about him cheating. Also, Avivv, if you're watching this, you got really lucky that I'm not calling you a cheater after what you did to me at the lake by Restored Reels the other day. Alright, so for the last part of this video, I just wanted to react to a video that Avivv himself posted. So the title is POV, Everyone Thinks You Cheat. This video came out like less than a month ago. I think it's pretty good to watch, just to analyze. So the first clip here, he just gets a regular headshot, nothing too crazy. You know, we all hit headshots like that. Shoots a kid blatantly through the wall, but of course, as everybody knows, especially this season, the servers are really bad, so shooting people through walls is pretty common. Nothing too crazy with that. Shoots a kid, tracks him, and that kill right there is something I don't see any other pro players ever getting. So let's just watch that back. So he snipes the kid. The kid's falling. He hits him for 138. Hits him again right here for 166 damage. And then somehow sprays him again and kills him, which is just incredibly weird to me. Kills him without any sort of angle on him. He had no angle right there, and his crosshair was not looking at the kid falling. So that's pretty weird. I don't really see other players hitting shots like that, but you never know. Could just be bad servers. Hits a snipe, pretty average. Jumps in a kid's box, sprays him, he's not paying attention, no big deal. Jumps on this kid, little bit weird crosshair movements, kind of smooth, looks very similar to me, like a DMA smoothing, like a smoothing sensitivity turned very, very high, but not 100% sure. Looks similar to Peterbot, where it's not like a very snappy aimbot if he is cheating, of course. If he is cheating, he's probably using very, very, very high smoothing settings and not very snappy aimbot, but I guess you never know. So here, he just shoots a kid right behind him, perfect headshot, blanks a kid through a build right there, which is, again, kind of strange. Shoots this kid who's not paying attention, wins the game and a heal off. So I don't know, tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. I really don't know if this kid's cheating, but it seems kind of like he is based on some of the clips of him, but ultimately I have no idea. I'll keep you guys updated if I find anything more. Thank you and have a good day.